Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
And temperatures are chillier this morning, already in the 30s in some places. We'll talk about just how cold it will be as you head out the door.
Possible sentencing today. The man who pleaded guilty in the death of an 11-year-old at the 2022 Raleigh Christmas Parade is set to appear in court. The emotional testimony expected from the people who knew her. Plus, honoring a fallen officer. How the community is remembering a WakeMed officer killed in a shooting last weekend. Some tough stories we're going to begin with today, but we do have some lighter stories on the way. But first, I want to say thanks for joining us this Monday morning on WRAL News. I'm Chris Levingood. We'll swing over to our weather forecast for today because you're waking up. Yeah, you're definitely going to need a jacket going out there, but we're going to warm up later to stay, Elizabeth.
You know, if you loved the temperatures over the weekend, we have more of that to come, but just not today and tomorrow. It's 36 in Roxborough, 39 in South Hill, 38 in Rocky Mount. We're in the low 40s in the Triangle and then down south. Fayetteville showing up there at 49 degrees. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh, and the wind has definitely settled down. It was so windy yesterday, but you can see the flags here in front of the legislative building. They're just moving slowly, and technically at RDU, we have calm wind right now. 43 is the temperature. Our skies are clear. It's going to be a pretty start this morning. Again, looking at temperatures in the mid-30s in Roxborough, 42 in Goldsboro, 49 Fayetteville. But our 24-hour temperature change is anywhere from about 15 to 25 degrees colder. I mean, that is a huge, huge drop. However, that just drops us back to normal. Temperatures in the low to mid-40s are normal for this time of year. A cool afternoon with highs in the low 60s, but I'll show you when we bounce back into the 70s again coming up.
Sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Today, WakeMed officer Roger Smith will be laid to rest. Smith was killed in a shooting last weekend at WakeMed Garner. Let's bring in Kelsey Coffey. She's live outside Providence Church on Glenwood Avenue this morning. Kelsey, family and friends, they're going to pay their respects there today.
Yes, Chris, we're expecting to see hundreds of people, family, loved ones, and first responders gather here at Providence Church later this afternoon. They're gathering to honor Officer Roger Smith after he was shot and killed on duty. Smith was dedicated to a lifetime of service. He was a WakeMed police officer for 12 years after his 16-year stint at Knightdale Police. With the Knightdale Police Department, and he was a firefighter. Tributes now pouring in from across the Triangle, the community raising thousands of dollars for his family as they mourn his loss. Officer Smith was shot inside the emergency department lobby at the WakeMed Garner Healthplex. Benji Martin Jr. is now facing murder charges. That funeral is scheduled to start today at noon. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And just a heads up, beginning this morning at 10:25, Glenwood Avenue will be shut down for a procession of law enforcement and family. It will go from Mitchell Funeral Home to the church. The route passes through the intersection of Glenwood Avenue and Durley Road. The Highway Patrol's Caston unit will begin that procession at 10:45 a.m. And we are trying to learn more about a possible crash investigation this morning in Wayne County. What you're seeing here is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker just before 3 a.m. on Pinckney Road off NC 581. Part of the road was shut down while authorities investigated, but has since been cleared. And so we're trying to find out what happened and to learn if there about any person who was involved. Today, the driver who hit and killed 11-year-old Haley Brooks at the 2022 Raleigh Christmas Parade may get his jail sentence, and Brooks' family will get another chance to face and address Landon Glass. WRAL's Laura Levine is live outside the Wake County Courthouse this morning. Laura, we're expecting another emotional day in court.
Chris, good morning. We could see another passionate, emotional day here at the Wake County Justice Center behind me today. After finally 3 years, this case could soon be closing. So we know Landon Glass, he pleaded guilty to 3 charges on Friday. That includes to obstruction of justice, death by motor vehicle, and having a dangerous weapon at a parade. A judge says Glass could serve up to 8.5 months behind bars. His sentencing will lay out more specific details. Family members of Haley Brooks say nothing will take away their pain of losing Haley.
Landon, there is no punishment that I would feel to be sufficient for killing my daughter. The only thing that I want is to have my sweet Haley back.
And Glass's attorney did tell WRAL that he will be speaking on behalf of Landon Glass here today. However, it is unclear if Landon himself will be speaking. Those victim impact statements will resume here at 9:30 this morning. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Raleigh.
Let's go and give you a live look at RDU this morning, where there will be some relief after weeks of staff shortages and cancellations at airports across the country. The government shutdown led to that. And in less than 30 minutes, the FAA will lift its emergency flight reduction order and resume normal operations. Now, the reductions affected at least 40 major airports. The FAA says staff levels are returning to normal since the government shutdown ended. Union leaders say it was hard for people to work without pay.
The stresses, the pressure, the fatigue is setting in. Air traffic controllers are texting, I don't even have enough money to put gas in my car to come to work.
Travel experts say air traffic controllers are getting back to work, and morale is also reportedly increasing among TSA employees. This comes just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. It's one of the busiest air travel periods of the year. Border Patrol agents are preparing for another day of operations in Charlotte, and as they do, local leaders and activists are asking them to leave. At least 81 people have been arrested so far in what's being called Operation Charlotte's Web. That's according to Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bavino. He claims agents are detaining people with criminal records, including assault, DWI, and larceny. It's unclear if the people who are being arrested are in the U.S. illegally. Governor Josh Stein released a video statement criticizing how the operation's being handled.
Everyone wants to be safe in their communities, but the actions of too many federal agents are doing the exact opposite. Unfortunately, our immigration system is broken, but rather than fix it, the federal government continues to play politics with it.
Stein says we need strong borders and accountability. However, he also says there needs to be a pathway for immigrants who have been here a long time and obeyed the law. We're seeing more videos showing encounters between Border Patrol agents and people in Charlotte. In fact, Homeland Security shared this video on X. The agency says an American citizen drove a large van at law enforcement. After that, law enforcement chased that person. Agents say the driver tried to ram police vehicles and at least one officer was injured. The man was arrested, and officers say they seized a gun. Protests over Border Patrol's presence in Charlotte, well, they've spread across the state, including right here in the Triangle. In fact, hundreds of people gathered in Moore Square in downtown Raleigh for a demonstration over the weekend. Protesters say the federal operation in Charlotte is creating fear in the immigrant community. They say they are standing up for their families, their friends, and their neighbors, and to show their support for immigrants.
Yeah, so we're here standing in solidarity with them and letting the Trump administration, state legislators, Border Patrol, ICE, anybody who's interested and needs to hear it, that ICE is not welcome in North Carolina.
Demonstrators marched to the state capitol before returning to Moore Square. Lawmakers are preparing for a vote on the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Yesterday, President Trump encouraged House Republicans to vote to release the files. He posted to Truth Social saying, quote, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide, end quote. He also called the case surrounding Epstein a Democratic hoax, his words. Some of Epstein's survivors also appealed to House Republicans to vote for the release, I should say. Trump previously dismissed the files as a smear campaign, and now he's instructing the DOJ to investigate prominent Democrats' ties to Epstein. Today, WakeMed and United Healthcare plan to resume negotiations around commercial contracts. United Healthcare officials announced Saturday that WakeMed had left the network. The insurer told WRAL WakeMed's facilities and specialty providers will be out of network, specifically for members enrolled in commercial and Medicare Advantage plans. The negotiation will not affect primary care physicians employed by WakeMed. They will stay in network. The man charged in a shooting in Rocky Mount will have his charges upgraded from attempted murder to first-degree murder today. That's because the victim died. 45-year-old Jermaine Lynch is that man. He is in jail this morning without bond. Investigators say the shooting happened around 11:30 Saturday night. That was at a convenience store on West Raleigh Boulevard. The victim was 47-year-old Julius Johnson, and he later died at the hospital. Today, Durham City Council members are expected to approve the next step for a development in the city's Hayti district. The project is called Fayette Place. It's expected to bring more than 250 affordable homes to the historically black neighborhood. Construction should start next year. City Council is expected to let the city manager negotiate a loan agreement for the first phase of the redevelopment, and they're also set to discuss permanently closing Hayti Lane. Today's meeting starts at 7 p.m. If you need a new passport or maybe renew the one you have, well, you have a chance to do so at NC Central today. There's a 2-day passport fair happening there. The fair will be at NC Central's U.S. Passport Office at the Student Union Building. That runs from 9 until 2 p.m. Anyone can show up without an appointment. Legendary professional wrestling announcer and former WRAL weatherman Bob Caudle has died. Former pro wrestler Ric Flair posted this video on X. Caudle was born in Charlotte and was the weatherman at WRAL in the 1960s. That's where NWA Atlantic Coast Wrestling was taped every week. Cottle worked as both weatherman and the voice of NWA Atlantic Coast Wrestling for years. Flair wrote, quote, "You are a great man, Bob, and you will be remembered forever as one of the greatest announcers of all time. I cherish all the time that I got to spend with you," end quote. Cottle was 95 years old. Today, we'll hear from the coaches of NC State and Duke's football teams after tough losses this past weekend. Virginia dominated Duke on Saturday, winning 34-17. Coach Manny Diaz says the team is now playing for bowl eligibility. They need one more win to get there. Coach Dave Doran and NC State also struggled to get their offense going against Miami. The Hurricanes beat the Pack 41-7. Oof. Coach Diaz will speak at 1 and Coach Doran will speak at 5. WRAL will be listening and we'll let you know what they say. Your time's 4:40 this morning. An NFL player is in critical condition after being shot outside a restaurant. What led up to the shooting that landed a New York Jets player in the hospital? And call it sticker shock. Thanksgiving dinner, yeah, it's going to cost you more this year. What's driving the increase and how it could affect your menu? Let's get you a live look outside at Pittsburgh this morning. Nice, calm, cool, and quiet. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show you how many more spring-like days we're going to tack on.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:44 and we have clear skies this morning. So we have the top of the tower lit in blue. Beautiful stars out there as you're heading out the door. But temperatures are much colder than they were this time yesterday. 38 in Holly Springs, 36 in Roxborough, 38 in Cary, Rocky Mount, and Wilson. Still some 40s showing up this morning too. 45 in Garner and 42 in Goldsboro. So walking the dogs this morning will feel colder than it did yesterday. Of course, we had that front come through and no rain with it. But boy, you could tell because of the wind. Well, the wind is much calmer today, but temperatures are also colder. Just 56 at lunchtime, and we'll see 61, 62 around the middle of the afternoon. We do have some small chances for rain coming up. One of those potentially over the weekend. I'll show you coming up.
A football player for the New York Jets is in critical condition because he was shot. Police say that Chris Boyd was shot in the stomach around 2 a.m. yesterday outside a Manhattan restaurant. Boyd plays cornerback for the Jets. Officers say there was some kind of argument before the shooting, and the suspected shooter drove off. A bullet is reportedly lodged in one of his lungs. Boyd has played for a total of 4 NFL teams since joining the league back in 2019. Reverend Jesse Jackson is breathing on his own after reports that he was on life support. His family confirmed that update. The civil rights leader is undergoing treatment at a Chicago hospital to help stabilize his blood pressure. He was admitted last week for a neurological disorder similar to Parkinson's. High grocery prices and tariffs could spoil your Thanksgiving menu this year, and that's because the cost of some of the most popular holiday foods, well, it's up. Jen Sullivan explains why.
Outside the King Center in Atlanta, long lines of cars as people wait for free food to be handed out at this Thanksgiving food drive.
This is going to make a tremendous difference.
Ms. Williams works part-time, but she says it's not enough to put food on her table. And it's not just Thanksgiving she worries about.
It's every day. It's tonight. I need dinner for tonight.
Her story is like so many others as the cost of food continues to rise.
We've seen an increased need. We've seen seniors coming that need assistance. We've seen families.
The government shutdown put a strain on already busy food banks, with millions of food stamp recipients not receiving assistance through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, and hundreds of thousands of federal workers not getting paid. But rising food costs are making groceries more expensive for everyone.
But for many families, they're still struggling to put food on their table and keep that roof over their heads.
Average grocery prices are up nearly 3% from last September, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report. Prices for key Thanksgiving staples like potatoes, meats, fresh vegetables, and bakery products are all up. And tariffs have caused the price of many imported items like wine to jump. One wine store says prices are 5 to 12% higher this year. There is some good news. On Friday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that retroactively lowered tariffs on beef, tomatoes, coffee, and bananas, as well as other products coming from agricultural imports. Jen Sullivan, WRAL News.
There's a big lottery drawing happening tonight. The Powerball jackpot is up to $570 million right now. The lump sum cash option is about $267 million. Not too shabby, right? You can watch tonight's drawing on WRAL just before our 11 p.m. newscast. All right, in terms of weather makers, we have been seeing Elizabeth Gardner track that for us. What's the next one on deck for us, Elizabeth?
So, yesterday we had that big cold front come through. No rain, really no clouds with it, but you could tell due to the wind. That's moved well east of us, and high pressure is building, and behind it, this high pressure system rotating clockwise is bringing in some cooler air. So, in a lot of places, our temperatures have dropped into the 30s this morning. We will have some nice dry afternoons with comfortable temperatures, not too far from normal for the next couple of days. And then we jump right back into the 70s again. 43 officially at RDU. We're going to hold it in the low 40s most likely, but some spots have dipped into the 30s this morning. Looking at 38 in Chapel Hill and Wake Forest, 38 in Cary, 38 in Holly Springs, but 46 in Fuquay Varina, 45 in Garner and Knightdale. For the most part, temperatures are running anywhere from about 15 to 25 degrees colder right now than they were this time yesterday. It was such a warm day. It was windy. It was sunny. It was not bad to be outside, but looking at much cooler temperatures today, 62 in Raleigh, 61 in Durham, and 65 degrees in Fayetteville. Our temperature change looks like this. So looking at temperatures, of course, on the cooler side, on the warmer side over the weekend. Now we're going to be cooler for just a couple of days before the warmth comes rushing back in as our high pressure system shifts and brings our wind back from the south. So by Wednesday, we're back to 70. And look at that, almost all the way through the weekend. We're in the 70s, 75 Saturday, 69 on Sunday. A couple of chances for rain. And we're going to talk more about that in just a little while. Christmas parade is Saturday. So a lot of us are watching that forecast very carefully. There's a small chance for showers. Last year at the start of the parade, or as people were lining the parade route early in the morning, 38. And this year it could be right around 60. And as we get through the parade, expect temperatures to climb on up into the mid 60s, but there is a chance of a shower. We're going to go over that coming up in just a little while. Definitely going to be warm for us. Another fun event that we have going on this week, the Festival of Lights begins on Thursday. We'll check that forecast hour by hour coming up.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Your time now is 4:50. Big entertainment news. A new Star Trek project is officially underway. We're going to give you a preview in today's Hollywood Minute. Plus, a wild finish. The Panthers needed extra time to cap off a record-breaking performance. How'd that game ended? Record-breaking day in Atlanta for the Carolina Panthers. Quarterback Bryce Young set a team record with 448 passing yards. He also threw for 3 touchdowns. All right, Bryce, go ahead. Despite that, Carolina needed overtime to seal the victory. Kicker Ryan Fitzgerald nailed a 28-yard field goal to give them a 30-27 win. The Panthers' next game is a week from tonight against the San Francisco 49ers. Well, there's a new Star Trek movie in the works, and David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
You know, it really had to be about relatable people that you would invest in and care about their journey.
Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly's next journey is to the stars. The filmmakers behind Game Night and Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves are set to write, direct, and produce a new Star Trek movie for Paramount. It's been nearly a decade since the last big-screen Trek film.
I can't honestly believe I'm getting honored for something that I really love to do. It's like getting a trophy for eating cupcakes and petting dogs.
Judy Greer received the Global Champion Award from the International Medical Corps. The actress has been a longtime advocate of the humanitarian organization. Her dear friend Jennifer Garner presented Greer with the honor at the group's annual celebration in Los Angeles.
You tend to choose people because they worship you, not because of any actual merit on their part.
Maggie is brilliant.
Is she? Does she just think you're brilliant?
The Gotham Awards think After the Hunt is brilliant. Director Luca Guadagnino and star Julia Roberts are set to receive the 2025 Gotham Awards Visionary Tribute for the film. The 35th annual Gotham Film Awards ceremony is December 1st in New York. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Pope Leo XIV met with some big names from Hollywood over the weekend, including actor Cate Blanchett and director Spike Lee. It's part of an effort by the pontiff to deepen dialogue between the church and the world of cinema, particularly among actors and directors. Well, Well, the Chinese Lantern Festival, it is back in Cary, and this year they are celebrating a decade of dazzling displays. The walkthrough experience features thousands of handcrafted, illuminated lanterns in various themes. There are also cultural performances, concessions, and interactive elements. We got the chance to talk to some people who went there for the first time.
Been wanting to go for years, just keep letting it pass by, but then, my mom and I have been talking about it for years. I wanted to bring her out. It's a nice thing to do for the family.
It makes you want to visit China with all these lanterns and all the designs and the language they have everywhere.
Pretty neat. We first walked in, it was nice. I like it out here, pretty neat.
The event runs through January 11th this year, and tickets are available online right now. Your time's 4:56, honoring a hero. The community is gathering today to remember a Wake Med officer killed in a shooting last weekend. How people are coming together to pay their respects. And Clayton High rebuild. Today, leaders will vote on a major plan that could remake the high school. We'll look at what's being considered. Plus, online shopping safety. Five on Your Side has 3 takeaways to remember as you browse online for the best gifts this holiday season.